If you wake up tired after 60, there's something very important you need to hear. And it may completely change the way you see your body. Because this tiredness you feel in the morning is not happening because you slept poorly, and it's not simply because of your age either. In fact, many women sleep for 7, 8, sometimes even 9 hours, and still wake up feeling heavy, unrefreshed, and already drained before the day even begins. And the most confusing part is this: nothing seems obviously wrong. You went to bed. You slept through the night. And yet, your body feels like it never truly rested. Here's the uncomfortable question most women are never asked. What if your body is sleeping but it is not actually resting? What if, all night long, your system is still working, still alert, still protecting you even while you sleep? This idea alone already explains why so many women wake up tired without understanding why. Because rest is not just about closing your eyes. True rest happens when your body feels safe enough to let go. And after 60, that sense of safety changes in ways few people explain. Many women blame themselves. They think, maybe I'm just weaker now, or this is probably normal at my age. Others start worrying that something is seriously wrong. But neither of these explanations is fair to you. The truth is much more subtle, and much more hopeful. Your body has not forgotten how to rest. It is simply responding to signals it has been receiving for years, sometimes decades. And this is where things become interesting. Because once you understand what is really happening inside your body when you sleep, mornings start to make sense. That constant heaviness, that lack of energy, that feeling that the day begins before you're ready, none of this appears out of nowhere. It follows a pattern, a biological pattern that affects many women after menopause, especially those who are sensitive, caring, and used to putting everyone else first. In the next moments, you're going to understand why your body may be waking up tired even when you sleep and what actually helps it rest again. Not in a forced way, not with quick fixes, but in a way that works with your body instead of against it. Because once you see this clearly, the way you experience your mornings can begin to change. If what you heard so far feels familiar, it's because many women after 60 experience the same quiet frustration, even if they rarely talk about it out loud. You wake up, open your eyes, and before the day even begins, there's already a sense of tiredness in your body. It's not dramatic pain. It's not extreme exhaustion. It's something more subtle but persistent. A heaviness in the chest. Slower movements. A feeling that your energy didn't fully return during the night. You may notice that mornings feel especially difficult. Your body needs more time to get going. Your mind feels foggy. Simple tasks require more effort than they used to. And deep down, there's often a thought you don't like to admit. I slept, so why don't I feel rested? This question lingers quietly, creating confusion and sometimes even worry. Many women describe this feeling in similar ways. I don't feel like myself anymore. My energy disappeared somewhere along the way. I feel tired, but not in a way sleep fixes. And what makes this even harder is that, from the outside, everything may seem fine. You're doing your best. You're taking care of yourself. You're showing up. Yet inside something feels off. This experience can bring emotional weight too. A sense of discouragement. A quiet sadness. Sometimes even anxiety, especially when you start wondering if this is how life will feel from now on. And because you've spent so many years being strong and responsible, you may feel pressure to simply accept it and move on. But the truth is, this feeling is not random. It's not imagined. And it's not something you're exaggerating. Your body is communicating with you gently but consistently. It's telling you that the way it rests, recovers, and restores itself has changed. And when you don't have words for that experience, it can feel isolating. You are not alone in this. And you are not wrong for noticing it. If you feel seen by this conversation, subscribing to the channel. Here we talk openly and gently about what women experience after 60. With clarity, care, and respect for your body. To understand why your mornings feel different now, it helps to gently look at what truly changes in the body after 60, especially after menopause. This isn't about something going wrong. It's about how your body's systems begin to work in a new way, one that often isn't explained clearly. After menopause, hormonal shifts don't just affect reproduction. They influence how your nervous system, metabolism, and sleep regulation function every single night. Research published in journals like Sleep Medicine Reviews and Menopause shows that after menopause, women are more likely to experience fragmented sleep. That means the body may sleep for many hours, but it spends less time in the deep, restorative stages of sleep. These stages are essential for muscle repair, hormone balance, and emotional recovery. So even when you sleep through the night, your body may not fully recharge. At the same time, the nervous system becomes more sensitive with age. Studies from institutions such as Harvard Medical School have shown that the stress response system, especially cortisol regulation, can become less flexible over time. In practical terms, this means your body may stay slightly alert even when you're asleep. Not because you're anxious, but because your system has learned to stay protective after years of responsibility, stress, and adaptation. There's also a metabolic shift. As estrogen levels decline, the way your body uses energy changes. Research in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism explains that these changes can affect blood sugar stability during the night. When blood sugar drops or spikes while you sleep, your body responds with stress hormones, quietly pulling you out of deep rest without fully waking you up. None of this means your body is failing. In fact, it means your body is doing its best to protect you. It's adjusting to a new internal environment. The problem is that most women are never told this. They're left thinking they just need to sleep more, try harder, or push through. But once you understand that your body's recovery system has changed, everything becomes clearer. The goal is no longer just more sleep. The goal is better conditions for restoration. And that begins with understanding what interrupts deep rest in the first place. That's exactly what we're going to look at next, because the real reason you wake up tired is not a lack of sleep hours, but something much more specific happening while you sleep. One of the most misunderstood reasons women wake up tired after 60 is something called non-restorative sleep. This means that even though you may be sleeping for many hours, your body is not reaching or staying in the deep stages of sleep where true recovery happens. From the outside, everything looks fine. You go to bed. You stay asleep. You wake up at a reasonable time. But inside, your body never fully resets. Research published in journals such as Sleep and Sleep Medicine explains that deep sleep, also known as slow-wave sleep, naturally decreases with age, especially in women after menopause. This stage of sleep is when your body repairs tissues, balances hormones, and calms the nervous system. When deep sleep becomes shorter or fragmented, the body may technically be asleep, but it does not complete its nightly restoration process. This is why many women say, "I sleep, but I don't recover." Your muscles don't fully relax. Your brain doesn't fully reset. Your emotional system doesn't fully calm. Studies from the National Institutes of Health show that fragmented sleep can leave the nervous system slightly activated throughout the night, preventing the body from entering a true state of repair. And the next morning, instead of waking up refreshed, you wake up already tired. Another important factor is how often the body shifts between sleep stages. Even if you don't remember waking up, microarousals can happen dozens of times during the night. These small interruptions pull the body out of deep sleep without fully waking you. Over time, this creates the sensation that sleep didn't work, even though you were in bed for hours. Hormonal changes play a major role here. Lower estrogen levels affect the brain centers that regulate sleep depth and temperature control. Research published in Menopause shows that these changes can make sleep lighter and more easily disrupted, even in women who don't experience hot flashes or obvious night awakenings. So when you wake up feeling heavy, foggy, or emotionally flat, it's not because you didn't try hard enough to rest. It's because your body didn't get the type of sleep it now needs. And this is a crucial distinction, because once you understand that the issue is quality of restoration, not quantity of sleep, the path forward becomes much clearer. Another powerful reason many women wake up tired after 60 has nothing to do with willpower or effort. It has to do with something much quieter, your body staying in alert mode during the night. Even while you sleep, your system may be on guard, as if it's still watching over you, protecting you, and preparing for the next demand. When this happens, true rest becomes almost impossible. Scientific research published in journals like Psychoneuroendocrinology and Sleep Medicine shows that chronic stress, even low long-term stress, can keep cortisol slightly elevated at night. Cortisol is the hormone that helps you respond to challenges, but when it stays active during sleep, it prevents your nervous system from fully relaxing. You may not feel anxious. You may not wake up in panic, but your body remains subtly vigilant, and that vigilance costs energy. For many women, this pattern didn't start recently. It developed over years of responsibility, caregiving, problem-solving, and emotional strength. Your body learned to stay ready. And after menopause, when hormonal buffers change, that readiness becomes harder to turn off. Studies from institutions like Stanford University show that estrogen plays a role in calming the stress response system. When estrogen declines, the nervous system may react more strongly to internal and external signals, even during sleep. This is why some women describe their sleep as light, restless, or never deep enough. Your body is resting just enough to function but not enough to restore. And in the morning, instead of feeling renewed, you feel like you've already spent energy before the day even begins. This state of alert can also affect your breathing at night, your heart rate, and even your muscle tension. Research shows that when the nervous system doesn't fully shift into relaxation mode, muscles remain slightly contracted, digestion slows down, and repair processes are delayed. All of this contributes to waking up tired, heavy, or emotionally flat. The important thing to understand is this: your body is not doing this to you. It's doing this for you. It's responding to years of signals that said, stay ready, stay strong, stay alert. And now it simply needs new signals, signals that tell it that it's safe to let go. If this explanation resonates with you, I'd love to hear from you. Take a moment to comment below and share whether this feeling of being on alert during the night sounds familiar to you. There is another hidden layer behind waking up tired after 60, one that many women have never been told about, and it's the quiet connection between your digestion, your brain, and your hormones. During the night, your body is supposed to shift into repair mode. Digestion slows, the nervous system calms, and hormones work together to restore balance. But when this system is disrupted, your body ends up working when it should be resting. Research published in journals such as Frontiers in Neuroscience and the American Journal of Gastroenterology shows that the gut and the brain are in constant communication through what scientists call the gut-brain axis. This communication doesn't stop when you sleep. In fact, it becomes even more important at night. When digestion is stressed by heavy meals, difficult to digest foods, or irregular eating patterns, your gut sends signals to the brain that something needs attention. The brain responds by staying more alert, subtly pulling you out of deep rest. Hormones are deeply involved in this process. After menopause, changes in estrogen affect both digestion and neurotransmitter production. Estrogen helps regulate gut motility and supports the production of serotonin, a neurotransmitter that plays a major role in calmness, mood, and sleep. Studies published in Menopause and Neurogastroenterology and Motility show that lower estrogen levels can alter gut function and reduce nighttime serotonin activity, making sleep lighter and more fragmented. Blood sugar stability also plays a critical role. Research from the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism explains that fluctuations in blood sugar during the night can trigger stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. Even small drops can signal the brain to stay alert, as if the body needs to respond to a threat. You may not wake up fully, but your system shifts out of deep rest to manage the imbalance. This is why some women notice they wake up feeling tense, hungry, foggy, or emotionally unsettled, even if they slept for many hours. Their body spent the night managing internal signals instead of restoring itself. Digestion, brain chemistry, and hormones were busy communicating, adjusting, and compensating. What's important to understand is that this is not about something being wrong with you. It's about timing, rhythm, and support. When digestion is gentle, blood sugar is stable, and hormonal signals are calm, your brain finally receives the message that it's safe to rest. And this brings us to an important turning point. Because once you see how these systems interact at night, it becomes clear why some common habits, even well-intentioned ones, can quietly prevent your body from resting the way it needs to. Once you understand how sleep depth, alertness, and the gut-brain hormone connection work together, one mistake becomes much easier to see, and it's something many women make without realizing it. The mistake is trying to force rest instead of creating the conditions for it. After 60, your body no longer responds well to pressure, even when that pressure is subtle and well-intentioned. Many women believe that if they just try harder to sleep, going to bed earlier, lying still longer, or pushing themselves to relax, rest will eventually come. Others rely on stimulants during the day and expect sleep to magically repair everything at night. But your body doesn't work that way anymore. When you force rest, your nervous system often reacts by staying alert, because pressure itself is interpreted as a signal of threat. Another common mistake is carrying the entire day into the night. Late dinners, heavy foods, emotionally intense conversations, bright screens, or mentally demanding activities close to bedtime all send the same message to your body: stay awake. Even if you fall asleep, your system doesn't fully shift into restoration mode. Research in sleep health shows that evening stimulation, mental, emotional, or digestive, can significantly reduce deep sleep, especially in women after menopause. There is also the habit of ignoring subtle signals. Feeling slightly hungry, overly full, tense, or emotionally unsettled at night is often brushed aside. But your body notices these things. When signals are ignored repeatedly, your system compensates by staying vigilant. This is not disobedience. It's protection. Many women were taught to be resilient, to push through discomfort, and to adapt no matter what. That strength served you well for many years. But now that same pattern can quietly block rest. Because rest after 60 is not about endurance. It's about responsiveness. Trying to sleep better, without changing how the body feels before sleep, often leads to frustration. And frustration itself becomes another layer of alertness. The mind wants rest, but the body doesn't feel ready for it. The important realization here is this: your body is not resisting rest. It's responding to the signals it receives. When the signals say urgency, stimulation, or pressure, the body stays alert. When the signals say safety, rhythm, and gentleness, the body finally lets go. And this is where the shift begins. Because once you stop forcing rest and start supporting it, everything changes. Not overnight, but gradually, gently, and sustainably. After understanding what has been quietly preventing your body from resting, it's natural to wonder what actually helps at this stage of life. And the answer is simpler and gentler than most women expect. Your body does not need to be pushed, corrected, or controlled. What it truly needs now is the right conditions to feel safe enough to rest. After 60, especially after menopause, your nervous system responds less to force and more to reassurance. Research in journals like Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews shows that the body enters deep restorative states when it perceives predictability, calm, and biological safety. This means regular rhythms, gentle transitions, and signals that tell the brain, nothing is required from you right now. One of the most important needs is stability. Stable blood sugar, stable routines, and stable sleep-wake times all reduce nighttime stress signals. When your body knows what to expect, it doesn't stay alert. Let's go. This is why erratic schedules, skipping meals, or eating very late can quietly interfere with rest. Not because they're wrong, but because they create uncertainty inside the body. Your body also needs ease in digestion, especially at night. Studies published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that lighter, well-balanced evening meals support parasympathetic activity, the branch of the nervous system responsible for rest and repair. When digestion is calm, the brain receives a powerful signal that it's safe to enter deeper sleep stages. Another essential need is emotional softness before bed. This doesn't mean avoiding all thoughts or feelings, but allowing the day to slow down gently. Quiet activities, warm light, slower movements, and fewer decisions all help the nervous system transition into rest mode. Your body responds not to instructions but to atmosphere. And perhaps most importantly, your body needs permission. Permission to stop. Permission to rest without guilt. Permission to move at a different pace than before. Research consistently shows that self-compassion reduces stress hormones and supports nervous system regulation. When you stop judging your tiredness, your body feels safer, and rest becomes more accessible. So the real solution is not one thing but a shift in how your body is treated. When you create conditions instead of demands, rest begins to return naturally. If this explanation is helping you see your body differently, the like button, it helps this message reach other women who may need it too. Once you understand what your body truly needs, the next question becomes practical. What can I actually do starting today without turning this into another obligation? And the answer is reassuring. Rest doesn't return through drastic changes. It comes back through small adjustments that gently guide the body toward calm and predictability. One of the most effective changes is creating a softer transition into the evening. This doesn't mean changing your entire routine. It simply means choosing one or two calming anchors that signal the end of the day. Dimming the lights an hour before bed, slowing your movements, or switching to quieter activities helps your nervous system recognize that it's time to shift gears. Research published in Sleep Health shows that consistent pre-sleep routines improve sleep quality, especially in older women. Another powerful adjustment is evening nourishment. Eating a lighter, balanced dinner a bit earlier gives your digestion time to settle before sleep. Including protein, gentle carbohydrates, and healthy fats helps keep blood sugar stable through the night. Studies in the Journal of Nutrition show that stable nighttime blood sugar reduces stress hormone spikes and supports deeper sleep cycles. This doesn't require perfection, just awareness. Morning rhythm matters too. Waking up at a similar time each day, even after a poor night of sleep, helps reset your internal clock. Exposure to natural light in the morning, even a few minutes by a window or outside, sends a strong signal to your brain that supports better sleep the following night. This rhythm builds over time and gently retrains your system. Listening to your body during the day is another quiet but important change. Short pauses, moments of rest, and saying no when you're tired prevent stress from accumulating. When your body doesn't spend the day in constant alert, it doesn't need to stay alert at night either. None of these changes demand discipline or force. They work because they respect how your body functions now. And when you approach rest as something you support, rather than something you chase, your system begins to respond. These small choices may seem simple, but together they create an environment where rest can finally return, naturally and consistently. If conversations like this help you understand your body better, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. This is a space where we talk calmly and honestly about what changes after 60. At this point, something important has likely shifted in the way you see your mornings. Instead of viewing your tiredness as a problem to fight or a flaw to fix, you may be starting to recognize it as information. A signal. A message from your body saying that the conditions for rest need to be different now than they were years ago. Waking up tired after 60 doesn't mean your body is failing you. It means your body has been adapting, often quietly, to years of responsibility, stress, and change. An adaptation requires energy. When you see it this way, the morning fatigue you experience stops feeling mysterious or discouraging, starts to make sense. What many women notice once they begin supporting their body instead of pushing it, is that mornings slowly change. Not all at once, not dramatically, but gradually. The body feels a little lighter, the mind a little clearer. The day begins with less resistance. These changes don't come from forcing sleep or chasing energy. They come from creating an environment where rest is finally allowed to happen. Your body responds to consistency, gentleness, and respect. When it feels safe enough, it remembers how to restore itself. And that restoration doesn't only affect sleep. It influences mood, focus, digestion, and how you move through your day. So instead of asking, "Why am I still tired?" a more helpful question becomes, "What does my body need in this season of life?" That question opens the door to understanding rather than frustration. And as you continue exploring that question, you may find that mornings no longer feel like something you have to endure, but something your body is learning to meet again, one calm step at a time. See you in the next video.